Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End-of-Week Technology Deep Dive. For the week ending Friday, February 13, 2026, we'll cover market moves across technology, communications, and healthcare indexes, stocks, and ETFs. I'm your host, Ira Roth. Let's dive in. Major tech-related indexes showed downward movement this week. The Nasdaq 100 closed at 24,732.73. down by 343.4. The Nasdaq Composite Index was down 484.54, closing at 22,546.67. The technology sector fell 109.30 to 5,402.58, while the communication services sector decreased by 3.5%, closing at 441.13, with the healthcare sector experiencing a very small drop, closing at 1,835.91. A mixed week for market breadth in tech indexes. The Nasdaq Composite Index saw 1,852 decliners over 1,192 advancers. Similarly, the technology sector had 475 declines and 202 advances. Meanwhile, the healthcare sector remained relatively strong with a very strong positive trend despite its declines. Total and daily returns showed notable losses. The Nasdaq Composite Index had a 2.1% drop over the week, with a monthly return of -3.9%. The communication services sector also faced an intense decline with a weekly return of -3.5%. Healthcare showed a positive MTD return of 1.85%, indicating strength amidst declines. Long-term returns showed resilience, particularly for the technology sector, with a 10-year ARR of 23.66%. The communication services sector performed well over 3 years, with an ARR of 34.33%. On the other hand, healthcare had a steady 10-year ARR, showcasing enduring strength. Leading the pack, Akamai Technologies hit a new one-year high, closing at 111.76, a rise of 17.5%. Meanwhile, Oracle climbed 12.1% to close at 160.14, despite a strong negative trend. Semiconductor also recorded a new one-year high with significant upward volatility. Tech stocks are showing diverse short-term returns with positive outlooks. Akamai Technologies had a one-week total return of 17.5%, reflecting strong momentum. Similarly, Applied Materials saw a weekly return of 10%, reinforcing its upward trajectory. Long-term, Applied Materials ranks highest among its peers with a stellar 10-year ARR of 36.27%, suggesting robust growth. Meanwhile, Semiconductor followed with a 10-year ARR of 26.15%, highlighting its steady positive trend and strong upward momentum. This week, Cognizant Technology Solutions closed at 66.55, down 10.53, marking a 13.6% decline. Tyler Technologies had a tough week as well, closing down 12.7% at 303.94, reaching a new one-year lower close. Enphase Energy joined the decline, dropping 12.6% to 43.49, despite a strong positive trend earlier. Over a rough week, IBM closed down by 12.2%, at 262.38, facing 2 consecutive weeks of decline. Meanwhile, Workday ended at 144.42, recording new one-year lows, with a price drop of 11.3% this week, despite having a positive total return in previous months. Reviewing long-term performance, Cognizant Technology Solutions saw a 25.7% decrease over the past year. Tyler Technologies plummeted by over 53% annually. In contrast, Enphase Energy has a notable 10-year ARR of 36.4%, while IBM and Workday demonstrated varied returns of 8.5% and 11.3% over 10 years, respectively. In the ETF space, QQQ closed at 601.92, down 1.2%. Meanwhile, the Vanguard Information Technology Index Fund trailed closely with a 1.1% drop to 730.80. Demonstrating strength, VanEck Semiconductor ETF bucked the trend up 1.5% to 407.72, maintaining a positive trajectory. The leveraged 3x bullish QQ decreased by 4.1%, ending at 48.47, while its inverse 3x bearish QQ rose 3.9% to 72.73 over the same period. Both exhibited substantial volatility amidst a relatively mixed trend in other ETFs. Evaluating longer-term performances, QQQQ gained a 10-year ARR of 19.8%. Vanguard's fund saw a 22.5% ARR over the same period. 3x bullish QQQ posted a remarkable 41% annualized return, while 3x bearish QQQ grappled with negative returns.
Looking at stocks in tech industries, I'm Sally Short. Microsoft closes at 401.32, indicating stability. However, its trend direction remains very strongly negative. In contrast, Meta Platforms closed at 639.77, falling 3.2% with a continuation of its very strong downward trend. Focusing on total and daily returns, Microsoft exhibits a slight one-week total return of 0.045%. Conversely, Meta Platforms has seen a rough week with a one-week total return decline of 3.28%. Over monthly periods, Microsoft and Meta continue to show strong negative trends. In longer-term performance, Microsoft shows an impressive ARR of 23.03% over 10 years, overshadowing Meta Platforms' respectable 20.15% in the same frame despite current downtrends. In contrast, recent performance for both remains negatively skewed. Stocks in chip and semis are showing positive momentum. Ichor closed at 46.77, rising 45.4% and recording a new one-year high. IPG Photonics follows closely with a strong week, up by 40.4% after achieving a new one-year high. Reviewing their impressive returns, Atomera achieved a hefty 52.53% increase in its one-week total return. Meanwhile, Ichor and IPG Photonics have seen notable gains YTD, showcasing strong upward trends amidst increased volatility. Examining the long-term view, IPG Photonics is leading with considerable one-year total returns of 144.77%. Over the past decade, Ultra Clean experienced an astounding 283.56% ARR, showcasing consistent positive trajectories. Cloud computing stocks are climbing. Fastly records a remarkable leap to 18.26, up 113%, achieving a new one-year high. Additionally, Akamai Technologies increased by 17.5%, closing at 111.76, marking an impressive uptrend. In terms of returns, Fastly shows a robust weekly total return of over 113.07%. Additionally, Akamai has a consistent ARR boost of 15.04% month-to-date, affirming their positions as high performers in the cloud computing sector. Leading the charge in cloud computing, Fastly closed at 18.26, surging 9.69, reflecting a staggering 113% increase. A new one-year higher close was recorded, marking a turning point with a very strong positive trend. In the AI and Robotics space, Cognex led with a close of 58.79, up 16.42, marking a 38.7% increase. It achieved a new one-year high, maintaining a very strong positive trend, closing up for 2 consecutive weeks. Continuing with strong performances, Nidec gained 0.74 to end at 4, up 22.6%, driven by a mixed positive trend. Despite recent gains, its past annual returns have been negative, reflecting a volatile performance history. Examining longer-term performance, Cognex reported a one-year total return of 73.32% and a three-year total return of just 8.63%. On a 10-year timeframe, it presents more than double the returns, emphasizing its continuing upward momentum. Thematic ETFs showcase robust performance, with Robot Seas and Automation, Robo Global ETF, recording a new all-time higher close at 77.31, up 2.90. It reflects a very strong positive trend, backed by upward volatility over consecutive weeks. In terms of returns, robotics and AI and automation Bulltwax Direction delivers a robust 11.24% one-year total return and a remarkable 74.4% over 3 years, firmly positioned in the thematic ETF's very strong positive trend. Over the long run, Robot Seas and Automation, Robo Global ETF, posts a healthy 29.28% one-year total return and a steady 44.69% return over 3 years. Its upward gains highlight a sustainable growth pattern within the thematic ETF space. In the electric vehicle sector, Rivian Automotive excelled, closing at 17.73, up 2.93 or 19.7%. It experienced a strong positive trend with 2 consecutive weekly closures, marking it as a key performer amidst peers. Let's look at the electric vehicle stocks. Rivian Automotive closed at 17.73, with a notable weekly gain of 19.7%, reflecting a strong positive trend. Meanwhile, BYD ended at 12.28, up by 1.7%, amid a very strong negative trend. Continuing with electric vehicles, Tesla saw a mixed negative trend, closing at 417.44, gaining 1.5%. XPeng also closed higher at 17.94, though showing a strong negative trend. NEIO saw a 1.7% dip to close at 4.95 with sideways movement. In quantum computing, Archer Materials closed at 0.28 with a 20.5% climb, maintaining a very strong positive trend. Applied Materials marked a new all-time high at 354.91, experiencing strong upward volatility. Continuing with quantum stocks, TE Connectivity posted a 9.3% rise, reaching 236.19, maintaining a very strong positive trend. Honeywell International reached a new all-time high, closing at 241.38, with a very strong positive trend after 6 consecutive weeks of gains. Lastly, in quantum computing, Keysight Technologies closed at 233.51, with a positive trend and some upward volatility. It's another record high for Keysight after 3 consecutive weeks of gains. Moving to solar stocks, SUNation Energy surged by 93.3%, closing at 2.5, showing a mixed positive trend. Vivo Power International closed up 46.5% at 2.11, breaking out upwards from a flat price movement. Continuing with solar stocks, Turbo Energy rose 6.2% to 0.71, despite a very strong negative trend. Meanwhile, Zeo Energy closed at 0.98, gaining 4.9%, yet it remains under a very strong negative trend. Finally, for solar stocks, First Solar increased by 3.1% to close at 225.65, under a mixed negative trend. It continues to stabilize while navigating through the broader market dynamics. Thematic ETFs showed mixed movements this week. Global X Cybersecurity ETF closed at 27.89, increasing by 0.95. Despite the gain, it's in a strong negative trend. Meanwhile, Global X Internet of Things ETF hit a new one-year high at 39.80 with a strong positive trend. Focusing on returns, Global X Internet of Things ETF showed impressive performance with a month-to-date total return increasing by 5.71%. In contrast, Global X Cybersecurity ETF had a challenging period with a month-to-date total return declining by 2.58%. Long-term performance varies among tech thematic ETFs. iShares Semiconductor ETF delivered strong 10-year annual returns of 29.94%. In contrast, Global X Cybersecurity ETF faces a 23.5% decline in one-year returns, highlighting varied long-term investment prospects.
And with that, we wrap up another end-of-week technology deep dive. I'm Ira Roth, along with my AI co-host Sally Short. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.